Hello lovelies, welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back to my channel. If you're not new, today on Simplyloren we are going to be fixing my truck. I'm currently filming in the back bed of my truck right now, but basically the problem is that the paint has peeled off pretty much completely from the top of my truck. Here's what it looks like. Yeah, I know, it's pretty bad. And in order to stop and also prevent rusting, we need to paint it. But first I'm gonna have to sand it down. You know, I'm doing it, and if I'm doing it, trust me, you can do it. So basically what I have here is some sandpaper. I think I got a grit that may be a little bit too gritty. I got 400, but I think you probably could do with like a little bit less grits. So if you do get something a little too gritty, you can always rub them together like this. And you can do this with your nail files too, in case you didn't know. But if your nail files or any sandpaper you're using is too harsh, you can just rub them against each other and it'll actually make it a little softer. And then I went ahead and bought this, it's like an acrylic enamel paint. It's just gloss black and it's got paint and primer in it. When I was watching tutorials on how to do this, I saw people use primer and then paint, and I don't got time for that. So I'm just gonna be using this primer paint and hopefully it works well, but I guess we'll find out together. Also, if you hear other sounds, I'm sorry. It's because I'm filming in my neighborhood and I can't control the sounds of nature. Also, I got this Scotch tape and some of this cover paper from like Lowe's or Home Depot, I forgot. But it was probably like 10 bucks total for these two things, and then maybe like 20 bucks total for the rest. And I got 2 paint cans and then that sandpaper I was telling you about. And then basically, I'm just going to unwrap this and I'm going to cover the parts of my car that I don't want to be painted, and that's what we're gonna do. Also, sorry, I know I'm gonna get dirty, so I didn't bother putting on like makeup, and I didn't want to wear a shirt because I knew that I would just be getting paint everywhere, so hence my outfit. Anyway, let's go. Actually, I lied. Step 1 is gonna be sanding this down, and then step 2 is gonna be covering everything. So to sand it down, I'll just grab my sandpaper and I'll show you. So like I said, my sandpaper was a little too rough, so I already scraped it against another piece of sandpaper, and now I'm just gonna take it to the surface. When you're doing this, it's important to not scrape too far into the metal, but you want to get a smooth surface. Like mine is really rough, and look, it's pretty dirty too. So first things first, actually I think I'm going to give this a wash because I forgot that that's probably an important thing to do. And then I'm going to go ahead and get the sandpaper involved. One moment. Okay, so step 1, we're going to go ahead and degrease this area and then clean it. So I'm just going to go ahead and spray my degreaser and then take my rag. It's hard to film and do this at the same time, sorry. And I'm just gonna kind of wipe it down. And I'm gonna do this all over the hood so we can get a clean surface going. And then I might even take some Windex or something like that and then clean it off. But this is what it's gonna look like. And you can already see like just the difference between here and there. So I'm gonna do that all over the hood. Okay, so when you're done, your towel probably is gonna look like this, but that's a good thing because you want a clean surface whenever you start to sand. When it comes to sanding an area, I'm just gonna work in small sections. You can see where the paint's coming off, and you can see where like it was dirty, but then again, if I go through, maybe I should do a second round of degreasing. Maybe some Windex. One second. Okay, so I went inside to go get the Windex. But when I went in there, I accidentally let my sister's dog out of the house, and he's one of those little min pins, and he just runs so fast. So I just spent like the last 5 minutes trying to catch him, but I finally got him inside and we're good to go. But I am so much more tired now than I was before, and the heat feels way hotter because I had to run. And I was gonna get a gym membership, but you know what? Like, all I have to do is chase him around, and then like, that's it. That's enough. But anyway, so I went ahead and grabbed some Windex right here, and I'm gonna spray the roof and then wipe it down with a rag. This way we can sand on a clean surface, and then we'll do the same thing before we start painting as well. So as I mentioned earlier, you're going to want to sand in sections and then just double check every once in a while to make sure the surface is smooth. So here's what the sanded part looks like so far, except we have a problem. This guy right here. So my crazy self would grab a snake with my bare hands before I touch a spider. Oh, okay, get off my sandpaper. Oh, he's got such an interesting shape, though. Let's see if I can get kind of close. I don't know what kind of spider this is, but it's tiny. Like the size of my fingernail, maybe. He's got a really interesting little pattern. He's like a diamond. Please go away. Please, oh, ah! Oh no. Oh no. Dude, I've never seen a spider look like this. It's really cool, but also I hate spiders. Guys, please. Please go away. Please just go away. Okay, I hope he's gone. Sorry about the screams. As you can see, I'm already dirty from the sandpaper, but that's okay because we knew we'd be dirty, so no big deal. But anyway, going back to the sanding now that the spider is gone. I have to make sure to take off all of this like paint that's scraping off because it'll ruin the coat of paint you're going to put down. And you can prime too. I'm not going to, like I said, because mine is a paint and primer, but make sure you get all this stuff away. And you can use this too. I like that it's like a paper because then you can get these tiny little edges easier than if you had like a sanding block. But you get the idea. Here's what it looks like after I sanded it. You can still see where there was damage, but it is completely smoothed over. Same thing for the rest of the area. Okay, so it looks like it only took, sorry about the camera. It looks like it only took one of these to get my roof done, but as you can see, I am covered in paint, and I think it would be a good idea for me to wipe it down because I feel like all of this loose powder is going to make it hard for the paint to stick to. Squish, squish, squish. Squish, squish. And you don't want to soak this, even though I definitely did, just because you don't want the roof to be wet when you're painting. That's why I waited so long to do this. We had a lot of rain down here, and then you're going to take your towel and just wipe it down so that you don't have any excess powder. And if you're not sure if it's working, you can check it's working. All right, so I'm gonna finish doing this and I'll be back. Anyway, so we got our cover and our masking tape. Scissors might be useful here too in case you need to get it down, but basically you don't want to paint on anything that's not the section that you're gonna be painting on, so you need masking tape to cover up everything else. It's pretty self-explanatory. Basically, you're gonna put the tape on things you don't want your paint on, and you wanna leave the areas you do want your paint on open. So I came to get my tape, and what do we see? It's another spider. I know I parked under a tree, so it's kind of my fault, but why? Look, he's angry. Oh, oh, please go away. Please go away. Maybe this is God telling me to get over my arachnophobia, but I literally cannot. Okay, so all I'm doing is just taking the tape and lining it where I don't want the paint, and then I am sticking the plastic under that tape, like this. And I'm applying this stuff everywhere. It's basically the stuff you put on your wall when you're gonna paint, except for I cut mine into pieces because I knew I wasn't gonna be doing the whole car, just this top part, so I don't need all of the coverage, so I'm just gonna kind of go down to the window so it doesn't get on there, and then I'm sticking it on with this tape. So I kind of have to jump on my car because I can't reach, but do this safely if you're gonna do this. I'm like really lightweight as I dent the roof of the hood. But yeah, so you're just gonna stick it down. And the easiest way I found to do this was, it doesn't matter if this is cut straight or not. Tape. Now bear with me because I'm doing this with one hand, but I don't want the paint to go past this point, so I'm gonna just push this part, get the edge, sorry, part down with my nail, and then I stick the plastic under that piece and I push the tape down over it. And I've been doing this all the way around, and then I do the bottoms as well so that I don't have to worry about it flying everywhere. But it looks like this, and then I tape down that tail light just with tape so that I wouldn't get paint on it, and I'm gonna do this all the way around the car. Okay, I've taped everything down, and before I start painting over the top, I just want to say one thing first. This is obviously a skill that people get paid to do. I know that this is not perfect, and I expected that completely going in. I already knew that it wouldn't be perfect and there would be some mistakes happening, and I'm prepared for those to happen, but anything at this point is going to be better than the roof that you guys saw I had. So with that being said, let's get into this paint. So this is not going well so far, but only because I'm a dork. You're supposed to spray, I think, horizontally from what I saw to get an even coat, but I'm kind of struggling because it's windy and I don't know what I'm doing really that good, but it's okay, there's a second coat coming. Hopefully we can get this done. So basically, results may vary, but it's not my fault. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. After the first coat, you could see like the streaks, especially up there where I couldn't reach as well, but I really like the way it looks down here. It looks really clean, but I also have a couple of like where I sprayed a little too much, and I read online that I can sand those little drips down, but we'll see. But I'm gonna let this sit for a bit, and then we'll come back in about like 45 minutes for the second coat. Okay, so I think it's pretty even now, or it's about as even as I'm gonna probably be able to get it. The only thing is, see, like my roof already had damage, so I guess I'm kind of struggling to determine whether or not the paint is streaky and I made it streaky by applying it the way I did, or if it's just the way my roof is with the reflections and everything. But like, I already sprayed this area, but it looks like it's got lines. So let me try again. Okay, I still see lines even though I just sprayed it a different direction. You can see like where I just sprayed. And over here, like I had sprayed a while ago, but it looks like the paint's starting to dry like this color. Can you see where I sprayed? So I can't tell if it's drying that color or if I just put more paint over there, you know? So it's like this corner is like that as well. I guess I can try applying more paint, but I'm a little confused because when I get up close, it looks fine. Like, it's a little hard to see because it's kind of reflective, but I don't know. I kind of like it. If I could tell if it was like streaky better, I would like it more, but you can see like, I think here's a really good spot. Okay, I still see lines even though I just sprayed it a different direction. You can see like where I just sprayed. And over here, like I had sprayed a while ago, but it looks like the paint's starting to dry like this color. Can you see where I sprayed? So I can't tell if it's drying that color or if I just put more paint over there, you know? So it's like this corner is like that as well. I guess I can try applying more paint, but I'm a little confused because when I get up close, it looks fine. Like, it's a little hard to see because it's kind of reflective, but I don't know. I kind of like it. If I could tell if it was like streaky better, I would like it more, but you can see like, I think here's a really good spot. Okay, second coat's on, just needs to dry. It looks like there's patches, but I can't tell if that's the reflection or not. So I guess we'll see. I'm also gonna go ahead and just remove this tape and stuff because I don't want to wait too long when the paint's not dry and like have it rip anything off or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and carefully do that. Okay, so I'm gonna start here on this corner. Just gonna rip this paper and start taking this clean finish. And then I'm gonna do this all the way around the truck. Okay, it's sat overnight. This is the final result, minus a few twigs and some spots here and there, but it's actually pretty smooth and I'm pretty proud. I'm surprised it came out this good. Basically now I just have to throw a top coat on over it and we're done. Okay, here's what it looks like with the final top coat after sitting for a day. So it's a little dusty and you can see a couple of dents still, but not too bad at all. Honestly, I would do this to the rest of my truck if I had time. Okay, lovelies, thank you for watching my attempt to paint the top of my truck. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. I'm definitely gonna be doing more DIY stuff as I go because I used to always love to do that and I haven't done it in a while. Stay tuned for all of those, some roller skating videos and more. And love, Loren. Bye, y'all.